By now, brother, you have gone through the Empowered Man operating system. You've downloaded the Empowered Man code. You've posted it inside of your chat after putting it up somewhere you can see it. And hopefully you've started using the most important task list and set your first task with the task management system. What we're now going to be diving into is the final part of week one. There's not a lot to cover each week. We're going to slowly layer in more to help you have more power and direction when it comes to winning in all the key areas of life. And today we're going to be focusing on the power of reflection. Ultimately, this idea of having self-awareness, this principle, before we dive into it, has absolutely changed my life. I have stacks of journal entries from the last 7 years. I have stuff in there that shocks me to have written down about myself. And what really changed my life, what built my wealth to millions of dollars, what got my marriage to a point where there's connection, love, and intimacy and respect, what got me to a point where I'm in control of my mind and I feel peace and joy despite the stress that I feel every single day. I'm fully in control of my life. And this one tool has completely transformed my life. And it's the idea of reflecting on who I am, learning what is and isn't working, and course correcting quickly. And if you can master this skill set, it will change your relationships. It will change your business. It will change your entire life because it will give you the power to know what to do every single day. So we're going to be diving into the problems when it comes to this idea of awareness. Problem number one is there's no reflection. You don't reflect on what is or isn't working. You don't reflect on what happened this day. You don't reflect on what worked, what didn't work. You don't reflect on the problems. You don't reflect on the challenges. You mull on them and you don't learn from them. You simply just sit in them. And this is a place where you repeat patterns without awareness. So if you ever have the same problems over and over again, the same bullshit coming up in your life that you just can't seem to get over, it's because you don't reflect on what is or isn't working in all the core areas of your life. Now, this also puts you in a place of no presence. You might be somebody who struggles to switch off and be present. Your body's there, but your mind is somewhere else. You come home after a long day and you're talking to your wife or your children, and even though you're there, you're not really there. Your mind's going a million miles an hour, thinking about all the tasks you need to do, all the fires you need to put out. It's like a war zone in your mind. We have 80,000 thoughts a day, and for most men, they have no idea what those thoughts are. That's why at the start of the day, we do a journal, but at the end of the day, we also have a process to reflect on this because the mind can be such a war zone where you have no presence and you struggle to switch off. Now, it's also a place where you probably don't have much growth. You don't learn or grow. Now, I'm not saying you don't learn, like you learn every single day, but you feel like you're stagnant and stuck, and you're triggered by the world around you. This is a place where you have problems and challenges which are never going to go away. The problems, as you get more successful, become bigger problems and they become harder to carry. And the weight on the bar gets heavier and heavier and heavier. But in this place, you might feel stuck. You might feel stagnant. You might feel like you should be further ahead. And you get triggered. You get triggered by your wife. You get triggered by your team. You get triggered by your children. It's this dark place where you're not growing or learning like you could be. And this is where so many men fall into the trap of repeated mistakes. You make the same mistakes over and over again, and you struggle with the same problems in your body, mind, balance, and wealth. Maybe your body is healthy and you work out every single day, but maybe you have the same problems in your mind: depression, anxiety, fear, doubt. Maybe you have a great mindset, but your relationship has the same arguments, the same problems. In your business, you have the same issues with hiring or firing or profitability. These problems all come down to the fact that you're making the same mistakes over and over again because you're not learning or growing from those mistakes. And this is a place where you lack clarity and you lack control. You destroy your clarity. You don't know what to focus on, what to do, what the priorities are. You lack commitment because you're lacking clarity. So like, what the fuck do I do? So you don't follow through or stick to anything. You lack consistency. You fall off the wagon, you get on the wagon. You fall off the wagon, you get on the wagon, and you lack control. And this is a place you've probably experienced called Groundhog Day. It's a place where every day becomes a blur. Years, decades pass you by, and you think, how the fuck did I get here? And this is because you start your day in chaos. Think about it. Every single day you wake up and it's reactive. You're putting out fires. You're focusing on things that don't really move the needle forward. You're focused on things that aren't important. That's why we have most important tasks every single day and a system to track those that we're going to be walking you through. Now, if you can relate to any of these problems, it puts you in a place where you waste. You waste away. and you waste decades of life you will never get back. Your freedom is directly destroyed through your lack of commitment to this idea of reflection. And what is reflection? It's self-awareness. It's awareness of your body. It's awareness of your mind. It's awareness of your balance, and it's awareness of your wealth. And if you feel like years have passed you by, this is why. So what's the possibility? Well, number one is daily reflection. You reflect daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. We have a system for this. And this system of reflection is a scoreboard. Without it, you're playing blind. You know exactly what happened today. You know what happened this week. You know what happened this month. You know what happened this quarter, and you know what happened this year. And through that awareness of being able to see who you were and what you did and what you didn't do, you're able to now rebuild and create the life you want and deserve. Now, this puts you in a place of presence, because when you learn how to have self-awareness and reflect properly, then you can switch off. You can be present, and you can actually enjoy life again. And this is the kicker here. It's not about the fact that life isn't hard. It's about the fact that through this process, you learn how to switch off, be present, and enjoy life again. Now, this also puts you in a place of daily learning. You learn every single day, not just the words of wisdom in our morning ritual and non-negotiable standards. Your growth and expansion skyrocket. Every problem you grow through. Every challenge you skyrocket and burst through. And all of your triggers that have held you back and pissed you off and pushed you down into a place where you're not the man you can be, those triggers are destroyed through your learning and through your awareness. Now, this stops the destruction. This is a place where you stop doing the shit that destroys your power. You start winning again instead of self-sabotaging. Think about how often we scroll on our phones, we smoke, we drink, we watch porn, we numb ourselves. It's because we are destroying ourselves through self-sabotage. You stop the destruction when you learn and grow, and you reflect every day, week, month, quarter, and year. You start winning again as a man. And this is a place of consistent clarity and control. You have consistent clarity on what's working, what's not working. You know what to do. You know what the priorities are. You know how to turn your life around. You know how to get through problems and create solutions. You're committed. You're taking action. You're in control. This reflection process turns chaos into clarity. Your planning process turns clarity into control. You are in the driver's seat as a man. And this is where you start your day with power. Imagine you wake up and you know exactly what to do. You focus on the most important tasks. You know what the things are that you can delay. You know how to prioritize. You know how to schedule. You know how to execute. You know how to achieve your results quickly. You know how to be the man who gets shit done in record time. And this creates time compression. Brother, when you learn how to do this, you condense time and you accelerate your results. You literally move 10 times faster than anyone else. I talked about in a previous video, there are 10,080 minutes in a week. Why are some people able to run $1 billion business while also having a great relationship, while also being present fathers, while also having peace at the end of the day? Because they've mastered this idea of compressing time. They condense the time and accelerate results, and this is where you move 10 times faster than anyone else. So principle number one, reflection creates power. Reflection creates awareness, and awareness creates power. If you are aware of what's working and not working, then you can change it. If you're on the motorway and you've got your family in the car and you drive right and a truck kills everyone, it's because you weren't aware of the truck. So the morning journal is a reflection process, and what we're about to teach you is another reflection process to give you awareness to have the power to have the life you want. Principle number two, slow down to speed up. At the end of each day, at the end of each week, at the end of each month, quarter, and year, you're going to pause. You're going to reflect on what happened, and then you're going to plan the next phase of your life. You're going to have clarity every year, every quarter, every month, every week, every day on your body, your mind, your balance, and your wealth, and how to win in all those areas. And once you reflect and then plan on how to win, all you need to do is execute, aka do the work with precision. You execute, pause, reflect, plan, Prioritize, schedule, and execute. This leads to power principle number 3. Measurement equals mastery. When you follow this process, you measure it. And what gets measured gets mastered. It's funny that we do this with our bank balances, our businesses, and careers. In a business, you track everything. You track the sales, the marketing, the profit. I would assume if you're not, that's a massive fucking problem. What if we could do the same for every area of your life? Part of what we're going to be tracking is your peace, your purpose, your presence, your productivity, your joy and connection. What if every day and every week and every month you had scores and data on how much peace you have in your life, how much purpose you have in your life? How present were you today versus yesterday versus tomorrow? How productive were you this week? How much joy did you experience this week? How much connection do you feel with the people around you every single day? And that leads to the 4th principle. When you reflect daily, you win decades. The man who masters this reflection process daily, he compounds success 10 times faster than the man who doesn't. This is why I have everything I have, because I'm so committed to this non-negotiable standard of daily reflection. And that's why at the age of 33 at the time of recording this, I could retire in the next 2 years. I'm not special. I am moving 10 times faster. Principle number 5. Win tomorrow, tonight. You cannot win tomorrow if you lose the night before. Let me say that one more time. You cannot win tomorrow if you lose the night before. So what you're going to learn how to do in the next video is you're going to plan tomorrow today. You're going to look at what happened today. You're going to reflect on it. You're going to learn from it. You're going to grow from it. You're going to plan tomorrow today. You're going to plan the next day. What are my most important tasks? What are my intentions? You're going to look at the day and you're going to have clarity on how you can win. Win tomorrow tonight. You can't win tomorrow if you lose the night before. So we are going to plan tomorrow today. Now, when you do this, life becomes your schedule plus your self-awareness. Your life in body, mind, balance, and wealth is the scoreboard of your standards. It's the scoreboard of your schedule and your self-awareness. Let me explain what I mean. If you have standards like the one we're about to teach you and like the ones we've already taught, and you schedule these things in and you do them, and you are aware of when you fall off the wagon, you're aware of what you're doing wrong, you're aware of when you're self-sabotaging, you're aware of the mistakes you make in your marriage, you're aware of what worked well and you do more of it. When you have these standards and when you have this schedule, which is the time you spend in your life, and when you have self-awareness around that, that scoreboard is going to give you a winning game. An impossible game that no one else is winning, because most men struggle to have balance in their body, mind, balance, and wealth. Most men sacrifice so much in the pursuit of success, but your scoreboard is going to look different. So this is going to be your action step for this video. I want you to take the principles down below. They're down below this video, and I want you to send them through inside of your coaching channel, your VIP chat on the Empowered Man app. Copy and paste them and share them with your coaches. And I want you to share your lessons from this video and what are your biggest takeaways from what you just heard? What parts of today's video resonated with you? What parts of what I've shared with you is your life? Are you in chaos? Are you reactive? Are you self-sabotaging? What principles apply to you the most? Go down below the video right now, copy and paste the power principles from this video, send them inside of your VIP chat, and then move on to the next section where we're going to begin this reflection process together.